Good afternoon, everybody. We're here today to be with Alexis Costello, the creator of GEMS Kinesiology, and she's going to tell you a way of putting things together when you've got too many things and don't know which tool to bring in at what time in a session.
Thanks, Denise. So we're going to do a live demo balance. This is not rehearsed and we don't know what's going to happen. So I hope it all works out so that you can see things clearly. But GEMS stands for Goal, Element, Mode, Stack. And the idea behind this is that people can come out of the Touch for Health world and have an easy flowchart and scan sheets that allow them to use all the vast array of tools that you have by the end of Touch for Health 4 in a really streamlined, easy to do kind of way. So I'm going to do a little demo. I'm going to talk it out a little bit as I do it, but I'm not going to go through teaching all of the moding and stacking and that kind of thing right now. That's for you to do with your instructor later on. But let's see what happens. So I have a willing body on the table. She's already given me permission to go ahead and do this work. And we're going to do just our quick little pre-checks as we would normally do. And just make sure that we do in fact have a willing body that's going to work with us and talk to us. And we do. So I asked you earlier, do you have a little pain or a goal or something that we can work with in just a really short little balance?
Yes, my left ankle. It's got a little click on it, especially back when I go upstairs.
Okay.
Downstairs.
So there's a click on her left ankle that's bothering her when she's walking upstairs. Is it painful?
It can be at times.
Okay. Is it painful right now?
Yeah, where your thumb is.
I jam my thumb into it, isn't it? Okay, fair enough. So what I'm doing is setting the goal, and I'm setting it as a physical goal, just saying hello to the pain and to the area that is having discomfort, and locking in my indicator change. Now I'm going to check what element we're working with. Central governing, fire, earth, metal, metal. And then we're going to check what mode we're working with. So we're going to go structure. Okay, so we have a metal structure stress. So I'm just going to flip to my scan sheets for metal structure, holding circuit. And I'm going to go down this list to see which thing I get an indicator change on. So we're going with organs, fats, muscles, posture, reactivity, peristalsis, tissue. Okay, so the tissues associated with metal element are skin and hair. So we're going to just check in, are we dealing with skin? We are. Okay, so there's something with the actual skin there that is stress. Do we need to go deeper with that? Do we need any more? Okay. So we're going to find another stress to add in with this list. So we're going back up to the beginning. Central governing, fire, earth, metal, metal again. Okay, structure, chemistry, emotional, emotional. Okay, so now we have a metal emotional stress coming up. So again, we just go to the appropriate page in our scan sheets. And all of the emotions that are associated with the metal element from the Touch for Health curriculum are listed here. So I'm going to go through the list. So we have guilt, grief, regret, tolerance, intolerance, cheerful, depressed, merciful, forgiveness, self-worth, rigid. Rigid. Well, that's interesting when we're talking about a flexibility issue, isn't it? Now, if we were working on this in session, I might suggest that we talk about some areas where you're maybe a little bit rigid, but can you think of any areas in your life where maybe you're being rigid or inflexible, or where you would like to have greater flexibility?
Yeah, my work.
Okay.
I'm very, very busy and I'm rigid on myself to working and not giving myself enough play.
Fabulous. Okay. We don't need any more information on that. Do we need more points in this balance? We do not have any more points coming up right now as being stress. So now I'm just going to ask if we have permission to correct. And what I'm doing is all laid out on the flowchart, which is part of your class. And so then we do the same protocol to find our correction. We go back up to element, central governing, fire, earth, metal, water, wood. Okay, we have an indicator change on wood. So that's interesting. We might think with two metal stresses in play that we would be working in the metal element, but we're not. And then if you start thinking about how your 5-element wheel works, it kind of makes sense, right? So mode, let's check. Are we working with structure? Are we working with chemistry, emotional, electrical? Awesome. So we have a wood electrical correction coming up. So now we're going to go to our correction scan sheets. And typically you would have these all in a binder with tabs so that it's super easy to find what you're looking for. And under wood corrections, we have meridian tracing, meridian massage, acupressure holding points, low points, figure eights. And figure eights coming up. Okay. So you can check for figure eight energies in whatever way you know how. But I'm going to ask if we're just going to come right on down here and work with figure eights on the ankle. So do we get a change on that? We do. So we're going to work here, right on the ankle that's giving you some problems, okay? If we want to know if it's done, we can just see if we get a change on it, okay? And then we can ask, do we need to do any more? Okay, do we need to do more eights? Okay, so let's see. Okay. Okay, so I'm no longer getting an indicator change when I'm asking if we need any more in the way of corrections. Sometimes you will need corrections from a couple different elements or under a couple different modes if you've got something more complex. But we're working with just a couple little stress areas, so one little correction seems to have fixed it up. So now what I'm going to do is take myself out of circuit and allow that information to kind of go away. And I would like you just to relax your arm for a moment. This is the time when we're going to recheck. So if she had said a verbal goal, we would have her restate it and we would check her indicator muscle. As it is, I'm just going to make contact with this ankle here. And I'm no longer getting a change that says it's a problem. If I kind of feel around in here again, is there any change in how it feels to you?
I don't feel that intense pain.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. So that was something really simple, just a few little stresses, a couple little tiny corrections, and we're able to affect big change. And the things that come up in this kind of balance are different than what would come up if you had thought about it and decided on a protocol to use. I might decide that she needed gaits or that I wanted to work with her hernias or her tibials or something like that mentally. But when it came down to it, that wasn't what was really underneath it all, right? And so this is a really streamlined, quick way of working with people. So thank you.